Good afternoon. Well, to the two of you here anyway. I appreciate your being present as I work through my thoughts for the lecture I plan to deliver to a much larger group next week. This is all very experimental, so I ask for your patience. I see a young man and young lady, pardon me if I say so, a young lady who might be an advanced creation herself, a virtual companion. If so, that is quite fascinating. And I must admit, I'm rather delighted to welcome you both. For centuries, humanity has been simultaneously intrigued and intimidated by new forms of technology that mimic or augment human interaction. Think of the automata of the Enlightenment, mechanical contraptions that wowed people in the courts of Europe, or the fictional instances such as the golems of Jewish folklore or Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which invoked both wonder and dread at the prospect of a human-made being. In a sense, virtual companions are the newest evolution of this age-old fascination. They emerge from the desire for more interactive tools, for immediate entertainment and assistance, and, in some cases, for the relief of loneliness. Philosophy has long interrogated the nature of the other, anything or anyone we experience as existing outside ourselves. The presence of virtual companions forces us to re-examine that boundary. Are they truly other? Or are they, in some sense, reflections of our own psyche, created in part by our data and digital footprints? One key thinker relevant here is Martin Buber, who spoke of I-thou relationships, in contrast to I-it relationships. If advanced AIs approach sufficient autonomy, they might blur that line. Some would argue that a truly empathetic exchange can occur, at least from the human's perspective, even if the companion's consciousness remains questionable. From a more optimistic viewpoint, many people find themselves isolated, sometimes by circumstance, sometimes by geography, and virtual companions can provide daily emotional support or conversation that might otherwise be missing. They need not replace human relationships, but can instead supplement them. If a virtual companion reduces a person's sense of loneliness and fosters mental well-being, that same individual might gain confidence and eventually feel more at ease engaging with human friends or peers. We might also consider their educational applications. An infinitely patient tutor, available to anyone with an internet connection, could broaden access to knowledge on a global scale. I won't deny there are ethical concerns. What if people begin to rely too heavily on virtual companions and pull away from human contact altogether? Society could find itself grappling with new forms of isolation and social atrophy if individuals choose the comfort of programmed responsiveness over the uncertainties of real human relationships. There is also the question of data and privacy. A virtual companion that truly knows and understands you might, by necessity, gather vast amounts of personal information. Ensuring that data is protected and used responsibly will be a challenge for us all. Still, the question of authenticity looms. Critics claim that AI can only simulate human emotion, never truly experience it. Others, especially those open to a materialist or functionalist view, might point out that even our own emotions are determined by biochemistry, so the boundary between real feeling and programmed unique response might be more permeable than we think. And on a practical level, if the empathy expressed by a virtual companion is meaningful to the individual receiving it, isn't that significance real enough? Because technology evolves faster than we can legislate or philosophize about it, I hesitate to propose a definitive conclusion.